Look at Taylor smiling. Look at this guy.
So happy.
Look at this guy. I remember
That was
you.
a fun game.
You're the guy I met at the beginning of the season.
No tirades for me today, thanks. Maybe one, but it'll be super brief.
I've never seen you as mad as you were last game. And I was like, I don't know that I like this Taylor. I don't like
him
this
either.
guy.
He's a jerk. I don't like that guy.
No, it's just crazy different vibes. Taylor sped home. He was at Gillette Stadium covering the game here, where the Patriots pulled off a shocker, 29-25 win over the Buffalo Bills. And I gotta say, man, there was you look for these moral victory builds off of different things that people do, throughout, whatever, these losses that they've had, couple of good drives, blah, blah, blah. But it just, none of it amounted to anything that you could sink your teeth into and be like, okay, this is different. This is turning a corner. It's a different sort of team. This was completely different team than what they than what we've seen at any point during the year. Any point.
Yeah. I would say offensively, I think in the first week of the season, you started getting a glimpse of this being a good offense because you had
you had the couple good defensive performances, right? But they lost guys, and that was tougher to withhold. Certainly had that early, but offensively, yeah.
Ever wish you could navigate the betting field with the confidence of a pro? Enter Odds Are. They're not a sports book, but they're the sports betting advisor you always needed. It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been absolutely loving the experience, and I think you will too, especially since Celtics All Access listeners get a 30-day free trial. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. Go get it at oddsr.com/Celtics. That's oddsr.com/Celtics.
Yeah, offensively, this was something that I don't think we'd really seen. And it built off of last week. So you saw a lot more quick passes, more misdirection and motion in the run game, which I know in the middle of the season, the run game got really predictable and really basic. So, and you started to see the Cowboys were just blitzing and they were just flying to the ball. And it felt like there's nothing to really hold these guys back. And the run game kind of petered out in the second half. But I thought the first half, you really saw them leaning on it with success. And then you had Demario Douglas, obviously, Kendrick Bourne, Pharaoh Brown making plays after the catch. And I think that's what this offense has been missing. It felt like it was just everything. Mac Jones had to be perfect every single week. And then against the Saints and the Cowboys, it felt like it got to the point where he just started to mentally break and feel like he just had to do everything on his own. But now we're finally starting to see. Last week you saw with Kendrick Bourne, everything he was doing after the catch. Now you add DeMario into that mix, and then it's you sprinkle in a little bit of Stevenson, a little bit of Pharaoh Brown. That's when the offense really gets going, and it doesn't feel like everything is just a fight, and they have to struggle for each and every yard. It's just, no, I can throw my little RPO screen to Demario Douglas and actually get 9 yards out of it or more. So, I was really impressed. I thought that they still got themselves in third and long a few times. There were a couple of situations in the red zone where they got stopped in third down, and you're I maybe don't love the play call or, what have you. But, considering what we've gotten recently, and until I get to the film, I'm going to mostly keep it positive here because I really don't think there was a whole lot to critique from this performance. There's a turnover from Kendrick Bourne. I think that Mac acknowledged there were a couple of times where he dropped his eyes to the rush. I think his sack was an example of that, where it was pretty good protection, but David Andrews got walked back into him, and you saw he kind of panicked.
He immediately turtled. He knew he was taking it there, and you're right.
But for the most part, man, considering what we've seen, that was a huge step forward again, and it didn't come out of nowhere. They started making tweaks last week. They built on it. Max said after the game that Bill O'Brien was a huge part of why they took that step. So, man, I'm happy. They finally put a game-winning drive together. Let's go. That was awesome.
Yeah. The CLNS Media Network is powered by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. When you place a $5 bet, that's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
And again, they almost puked themselves, puked all over themselves in a way that you would have been well, this is what losers do, and the Patriots, if you'd followed the Patriots, as obviously almost everybody in this chat and most people who, watch the team, religiously and are kind of living through this down period here, did over the course of 20 years, there were so many games where you just, eventually the other team's just going to muck it and we're just going to go do our thing and drive down the field and score and win. And that's going to be that. And, they did it and they fumbled and, and Kendrick Bourne gave it back and the Bills score and they take a lead and, blah, 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 blah. And then they did it. 75-yard drive, Mac Jones, boom, 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 boom. I mean, right out of the gate. And again, if you're looking at it from the Bill side of things, just letting Stevenson leak out for that 30-something yard gain on that first play was ridiculous there, and it's a nice little play call and to get him out there. But yeah, you got something to say.
I will say they got very lucky because David Andrews was way downfield and did make a block. And when you look back, you're like, oh, okay. But to be fair, the Bills got a couple
I thought
calls.
for sure that was coming back. I was shocked. So I was stunned with that call. But all of a sudden you're cooking, and then they get all the way down there and they pull it off. It really was amazing to see it. And you get that kind of, has Mac done it? Has Mac led game-winning drives and this and that? Well, he's got his little feather in his cap now because he can say that he did that.
With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. Head to factormeals.com/PressPass50 and use code PressPass50 to get 50% off. That's code PressPass50 at factormeals.com/PressPass50 to get 50% off.